Hey, what's up guys? Gons here for the Face Like the Sun YouTube channel. Feeling much better today. Thank you so much for all your prayers for healing and just a quick recovery from whatever was going on with me. So I appreciate all that. I wanted to talk to you guys today about Jaden Smith. I've tried to steer clear of exposing celebrities and things like that, but I thought this was interesting and important to touch on because I think we're seeing the direction of a new spirituality that is going to encompass a sort of a world religious atmosphere. And it's not necessarily going to be one religion or the other. I know a lot of people think Islam is part of the one world religion at the end times and things like that. But I tend to think that it's more of a consolidation, some sort of new age universal religion, largely based on the recent findings in science and mystifying or new age-izing these ideas that are being discovered. Because as we know, materialism is dying, and it seems the esotericists and mysticists are picking up on the gap that is being found with a lot of these scientific discoveries in quantum mechanics and things like that. But keep in mind, I do think this includes Christianity. But when I say Christianity, I'm not saying the biblical, Jesus-following Christians that would be a part of it, more of the lukewarm, uninformed Christians, which sadly to say there's a lot of them out there, and the Bible even predicts that there's going to be a great falling away from the faith before Jesus returns. So I want to talk to you about this article real quick. The U.S. magazine, U.S. Weekly, published this article. Jaden Smith sees himself as a modern-day prophet, writing philosophy book. He said, quote, "I don't think I'm as revolutionary as Galileo, but I don't think I'm not as revolutionary as Galileo." Ooh, so deep. Anyway, he's 17. I'm not going to be too tough on the kid, but he does say some pretty provocative things here. Quote, "And like the Renaissance scientist, the 17-year-old son of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith has a few ideas to champion." Quote, "Jaden sees himself as a modern-day prophet and is working on a collection of essays," Appel says in the new issue of US Weekly. "They're new takes on string theory and chaos theory, but more mystical. After all, he's getting an out-of-this-world assist with the tome," explains the source. Quote, "Jaden thinks he has spiritual ties to people in other dimensions and galaxies, and they are helping him write." End quote. Wow, you want to talk about some kind of external influence from the demonic realm or just the spiritual realm in general? Jaden Smith apparently has that. The crystal healing enthusiast also believes his work could have a widespread impact. As the insider, quote, "He hopes to have a spiritual following when he releases these." And, my thing is that this is going to create some sort of spiritual following, especially with the youth who see him as a sort of public leader. And this little article goes on, "Critics be warned, the After Earth star has said he welcomes the opinions of naysayers. Quote, "I feel like it's an honor, actually, for people to think I'm crazy," he admitted to GQ. "They thought Galileo was crazy too. You know what I'm saying?" So he welcomes the criticism. Well, Jaden, I'm not going to say you're crazy because I do think you're communicating with something from somewhere else. And so just as a Bible-believing Christian, I'm saying, you know what? You're not crazy for doing what you're doing. However, in biblical prophecy, there are tons of warnings about false prophets. Matthew 24:24 talks about, these are Jesus' own words. He said, "For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect." And the most important thing that I want Jaden Smith to do, and if he watches this video, which I doubt he will, but if he does, here's the thing. 1 John 4:1 states this, "Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, for many false prophets have gone out into the world." And if you keep reading, John gives us even more detail. "By this you know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is from God, and every spirit that does not confess Jesus is not from God. This is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you heard was coming, and now is in the world already. Little children, you are from God, and have overcome them, for he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. They are from the world, therefore they speak from the world, and the world listens to them. We are from God. Whoever knows God listens to us. Whoever is not from God does not listen to us. By this we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error." So that's the main key here. And based on the history of Jaden Smith, being in the entertainment industry, being someone who is well established in the public, it's much easier, I think, for fallen spiritual entities to deceive someone like him. So my message to Jaden Smith is to test the spirits before writing anything down that you think is coming from the other side or whatever you think is going on, but the problem lies in the fact that if you don't know Jesus Christ, you won't be able to really discern whether these spirits are deceiving spirits or not. And for the young people watching, just know that there's warnings in the Bible about false prophets, okay? That's all I'm going to say. You have to make your own decision on what to believe, who to follow, things like that. But just know that Jesus talks about false prophets over and over and over again. And the Bible, especially the New Testament, talks about false prophets quite a bit as well. So just be aware of that and be careful. And just always know that God, who became flesh in Jesus Christ, loves you, he cares about you, and he wants you to turn to him. And he'll never turn his back on you. But he will honor you and your decision if you decide to turn your back on him, because he's not a God that forces you to love him. He gave you the ability to choose. So all that being said, Jaden Smith thinks he's a prophet. He's writing a philosophy book. We'll just have to see what kinds of ideas are contained within this work when he does publish it, and we'll see what kind of public reaction he receives. So keep an eye out for that, guys. Hope you guys have an awesome day. God bless.